What's up, movie Jewish Schmoedown fans? Yeah, this is me doing a reaction to a Schmoedown match that happened a week ago, which for some reason I missed. I don't know how or why, but somehow this thing really just slipped my radar. I don't know how. I thought I reacted to all of the Schmoedown matches from last week. Apparently I didn't. I missed out on one. Doug Benson versus Chris Van Vliet. I've been hearing a lot about Doug Benson, obviously recruited into the usual suspects last season. In free agency, never actually got a chance to compete, unfortunately, like a lot of other people who were drafted last season, because, you know, some things happened all over the world that kind of ruined a lot of people's plans. But, yeah, he's going up against Chris Van Vliet. Gotta be honest, I don't really know much about either one of these two. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just really stupid, but I don't know who... I might have heard about Doug Benson at one point, but this Chris Van Vliet character, I have no idea who that is. So, I apologize for my ignorance, but, yeah, you can clearly see that I'm wearing the usual suspects hoodie, because I kind of realized I'm not really wearing it a lot, because, I don't know, for whatever reason, I hardly ever root for the suspects. Whether it's because I'm slightly underwhelmed by their players sometimes, or maybe it's because a lot of the times they go up against other people who I'm rooting for. So I don't really get to wear the usual suspects hoodie a lot. But like I said, I heard a lot about Doug Benson, the most, so that's why I'm wearing this today. Anyways, this is a very long match, so might as well get started. Obviously, I will be participating as well, but you know me in singles. Don't expect to see many correct answers out of me in this match. Anyways, here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Alongside Andrew Guy, I am Mark Baby Carrots Ellis, and Andrew, what a matchup we have today. Two rookies making their debut in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, and when I say debut, I may be underselling it just a touch, because these are two long-awaited rookies that we have been dying to get into the league. Doug Benson, high time himself, and the cooler Chris Van Vliet are finally set to make their very first appearance in the Schmoedown.
I always love to call matches of two people that are both exponentially more famous than I am, Mark, and I'm very, very excited to see how they handle themselves here in the ring. I love both these guys. We had so much fun with them backstage in the green room, but now they're in our world. They're in my world now, and I want to see how well they know this game that we love in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah, they may be from another planet, both with their movie trivia insight and also because we had to use a trail of Reese's Pieces to lead them into that green room. But they got here, they're in one piece. And Chris Van Vliet, super successful in the broadcasting world. People love just hearing his voice, and he is just such an affable guy, and he knows so much about movies. We did some practice questions just to get these two gentlemen familiar with the game, and they both knocked him out of the park. Doug High Time Benson, you obviously know from Doug Loves Movies, where they have celebrities and even lowly comedians who are talking right now, guest on the show. This is a different kind of trivia. This is a little more hyper intense competitive, but hey, if you know it, you know it. And these two fellas seem to know a lot about cinema.
I couldn't agree more, Mark. I want to see how they work through some difficulties in rounds 1 and 2. What happens if that wheel does them dirty? And of course, working with their managers. It's their debut. Lean on those veterans in the league.
Yeah, you got Kaiser is representing Chris Van Vliet, of course, of The Dungeon, who currently lead the standings in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Sam Levine and the usual suspects will be managing Doug High Time Benson today. For a look at how we got here, this might be the shortest promo we've ever done. Let's see what we got.
In one of the longest matches of the season.
I'm Doug. I'll be playing with the usual suspects in the Schmoedown.
Doug Benson. Doug loves movies. You know how I know that? He's got a whole podcast named after it. So I'd be a fool not to want this man on my faction. let's just get right to it, Brad. Kevin Smith, Chris Jericho, Doug Benson.
Well, Frank Janice, I think it would be hard-pressed to say that Sam Levine did not have an incredible free agency.
Yeah, it didn't work out last year. Scheduling issues, a pandemic, whatever. But this time, Doug Benson came to play.
Let me tell you about the word on the street. It's Van Vliet.
Chris Van Vliet? Vliet? Honestly, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. I could have asked, but I didn't.
Now the cooler, when he's not answering trivia questions, you know what he's doing? Kicking the crap out of pro wrestlers. Google it.
I'm sure he's a lovely fellow. I know, he's got a fine manager in John Kaiser, but we've dealt with the dungeon before, and we're going to deal with him again today.
You see, Doug Benson, you're like my third favorite celebrity, Doug. You're somewhere below Dougie Fresh and Doug Diamond Phillips.
Doug was born to play the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Doug's gonna Doug, and Dungeon's gonna Dungeon.
Another
You know
day,
what,
another
Sam
Doug.
Levine? Kick off those penny loafers. It's time to play the dungeon.
This was a mostly manager-dominated promo. We barely got to see any
and
of
what
the
we got
other
was
two.
some pretty good smack talk, predictably, between these two competitors. And when you throw their managers into the mix, Sam and Kaiser, how do we say this gently? Never short on words, Andrew.
I feel like
never.
we could just watch a 12-hour courtroom documentary with Sam and Kaiser and be riveted the whole time. Yes, nothing would really make any sense, as I'm sure they both don't know the law that well, but I'd watch it.
I would watch the hell out of it. But right now we're talking about watches of a different sort because I don't have mine on me. What does yours say?
I think it says that it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. Introducing first, representing the dungeon, making his Schmoedown debut, the cooler Chris Van Vliet.
Oh, guys, sorry. I could barely hear you over the shine of my Emmy Award here. This is one of
How many of them does
four
he
Emmy
have?
Awards that I have. Of course, the Dungeon is known for winning, so why wouldn't they want to have another winner on the team? You know, it's interesting. I am a distinguished journalist who has covered awards like, the
got a great
Oscars
voice.
and the Emmys, and Doug Benson is a distinguished bong salesman, so this should be very interesting.
Chris, we have to ask you,
sounds
are
like
those
I might
really
have heard
your
his voice
Emmys?
at one
Are you
point
at
or
your
another.
house at the moment?
Wait, who told what? No, what? Next question, please.
Hopefully they won't be home for another hour, Andrew.
Chris, can I have your autograph?
Yeah, who should I make this out to?
Andrew Guy, when I come back on screen, you'll be able to get the
Okay.
spelling. Chris, how are you feeling about your debut today, brother?
Sorry, let me just finish the.
I'm sorry, I'm
here, and
You did ask.
there you go. Yeah, there it is for you.
Thank you.
This has been a long time coming, as you guys pointed out, but I'm pumped to be here. I'm pumped to be part of the dungeon, and this is going to be an interesting matchup. I do respect Doug for his knowledge of cannabis. I don't know if his knowledge of movies, though, is going to be on par.
And Chris, how would you say you first came about the Schmoedown or competitive movie trivia? Did you always love watching movies and testing your friends? You were always the best in your crew. How did you know that you had a brain for something like this?
I have a steel trap of knowledge. So if something goes in here, if I've seen a film, if I've seen a trailer, it goes in here and it does not come out. Well, at least until today when it does come out today. And I saw Chris Jericho on here have his epic match with Kevin Smith, and I went, I think I could do that. I want to do that.
All right, then. He's got 4 Emmys, Andrew. I have 4 Rec League basketball champions in Los Angeles County
Very
B
shiny,
Division.
right?
My championships aren't quite that shiny, but let's go ahead and meet his opponent.
And his opponent, representing the usual suspects, making his Schmoedown debut, Doug High Time Benson!
Oh, hello! just polishing one of my trophies, one of my many awards that I've received over the years from many different institutions, not just one silly Emmy group.
Doug, what is that trophy for? That is.
This one is for Doug Benson, Cannabis King of Comedy at the Las Vegas Cannabis
It's got a great
Award.
design, I'll say that.
That's a prestigious
the giant
statue
diamond in the middle,
indeed.
and
Doug,
there's a-
you probably earned that,
like
not
that.
necessarily for your movie knowledge, but you host Doug Loves Movies, a beloved movie podcast. It features trivia, but in that show, you get to ask the questions, and now it's sort of a reversal of fortune. I get to ask you movie trivia questions. How confident are you in your ability after all these years of having the answers in front of you?
I feel pretty good because, you know, as my opponent mentioned, he thinks I know a lot about cannabis. I really don't. I just get high all the time. It's movie trivia is my wheelhouse, and I am here to roll over my competition.
Yeah, you know, Doug, you seem like, it seems like Chris has a bit of an edge coming out here, wanting to put you in your place. You seem much more like you're going to let this game come to you. Do you see yourself maybe climbing the top of the Schmoedown mountain if you start on this path? Could you see yourself holding a belt one day?
I can't, and that's that's what's so exciting about it to me is it feels way out of reach. I don't feel like I'm good at, you know, super hard, speedy movie trivia, but you just never know. You just gotta, you don't know until you schmo.
Doug, final question. I am required to ask you this. Currently, on a scale of 0 to Willie Nelson, are you currently high?
Huh?
Well, you know, there was a couple of moments of downtime during my technical issues of joining the program, and so I took advantage of those moments and I visited the kitchen.
An opportunist at their finest, Mark.
There they are, Doug Benson and the cooler Chris
Doug
Van Vliet
Benson.
finally meeting each other in person. Gentlemen, any last words for each other before I read the rules of round one?
I'm glad to know that I'm in a right state of mind right now. Thank you for revealing that, Doug.
Yeah, you know, the sad part of this is that you know, if I lose, you're just going to claim performance-enhancing drugs.
Performance-enhancing Doug.
It's the same initial. Either way, PED. So, gentlemen, now we get to the rules of round number one. 8 questions are asked to the field of competition in round number one. These questions are from 8 different distinguished movie categories. Each question is worth 1 point. There is no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing. At least there isn't in round number one. Wink, wink. We'll ask a question, Andrew and myself, and then you have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer. You got to think it, get it in your brain, and then write it down within 15 seconds. Once we ask you by name or nickname, please show what you wrote to your camera. At the same time, you verbalize your attempt into your microphone. I'll remind each competitor you have 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. If you're not sure you heard a question right, you want to buy yourself another 15 seconds, that's your repeat. Use the JTE rule. You can also just say, repeat the question. We're pretty lenient about that. You also each have 1 challenge you may issue at any point throughout the 3-round match. Some ruling seems fishy to you. You didn't like the way a question was phrased. You can use a challenge. We'll bring in your manager. We'll all delineate and deliberate to our heart's content. And it will ultimately be your manager that decides if the challenge is ratified. So I now ask the cooler, Chris Van Vliet, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He literally looked at his biceps, Andrew. Doug Benson, high time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown! All right, gentlemen.
And
3
playing in the
rounds
middle of
in
the
singles
let's get
division
ready
coming your
thing.
way. Your first 8 are in categories all across the movie universe, starting with animated. Your first question coming from
Animated.
animated. Which Disney animated feature features the songs One Jump Ahead and Friend Like Me?
All right, Andrew, they're thinking it through. Going to write down their best attempt at an answer. They can also say repeat if they're not sure or they need to buy themselves another 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to you first. High time, Doug Benson. What do you got?
Is it
Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Doug Benson has his first point in Schmoedown history. Does Chris Van Vliet?
Aladdin.
You ain't never had a friend like me. Aladdin.
Oh,
Tie
he uses the
game.
same color of
Got
marker
it,
that I
and
do.
they're on the board. Here we go to your next
I
category.
didn't get shut out.
You're both on the board. Congratulations, gentlemen. All right, your next question in the world of horror/thriller movies. What 2002 horror film featuring Naomi Watts has the tagline, "Before you die, you see"?
Friend Like Me is a song that I was hoping
Oh.
you'd sign off with me on
I wasn't
karaoke
really
last
planning
weekend,
on
Mark.
getting
You
any
did not.
points in a horror
You're not touching the
category,
horror movies, are you?
so I think I'm gonna sit this one out.
3.
I don't even have a.
Two.
Hey, can I hear that one again?
Just in time, Doug Benson uses a repeat, and it is in the category of horror thriller. What 2002 horror film featuring Naomi Watts has the tagline, "Before you die, you see"? So Benson
Guess we need
uses
to hear
one of his
the-
3 repeats.
The
Van
name
Vliet
of the actress.
has that 15 seconds to also look over his answer, guy.
I like that he used it early. I think it's good that Doug knows the
5,
game.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. The cooler. Let's go to you first.
I went with The Ring.
And that is correct for a point.
Huh.
Doug Benson, did you have the ring?
Oh,
Do you
No,
have
and
the
it's so
wing?
funny when you repeated it. I just thought, well, I'll just go with my original answer. So I wrote down "Don't look now" twice.
Well, you only got it wrong once, Doug.
Yeah, you only
Thank
missed
God
it
for
once,
that.
so
Thank goodness.
You know,
It is
I was
2 to 1
considering
as they get to their third round one
saying the
question.
ring.
All right, gentlemen, your
I just didn't
third
really think it
question
was
coming in the
2002
category
though.
of
I thought it was
action
2000.
adventure. This
That's interesting.
2005 adventure film from director Breck Eisner follows an explorer named Dirk Pitt as he seeks a lost Civil War battleship in the deserts of West Africa.
Well, that sounds
Wow, my
fun.
brain went in so many different directions in that one question.
You just don't want to talk about the ring anymore, do you?
That movie scared me so much as a kid, and I feel like I'm still upset with it. I won't watch the remake.
4,
Well, I had
3,
an answer
that's the
before I
grudge.
heard.
2,
They had me in the first
1.
half, not gonna lie.
pens down, and we're going to Doug Benson first. Doug, did you have the answer?
I have no idea what that movie is, so I'm just taking a wild swing and saying Sahara.
That is
His
correct.
wild swing
Wow.
pays off. Chris have it.
I did not have it. No.
So no perfect
It is
answers today.
2 to
Wow.
2, and Andrew, they both have their first points and their first misses, and it is once again a tied ball game as
That
we go
movie
to-
sounds made up, by the way.
It does.
We invent
does
no
sound
movies
made
here
up.
at the Schmoedown.
That was
not
not the
good.
Sahara. The Sahara I know is Steve Zahn rides a surfboard on the sand.
I think that's
This is the same movie, Doug.
Yeah, that's this one.
Man.
That's the description, not all this stuff about Dirk Pitt or whoever the hell.
All right. Well, we'll just leave Mr. Pitt and we'll go to the world of dramas. And your next question. Who plays the main character, Derek Vineyard, in the 1998 film American History X? A lot of people love this movie, Andrew. Do you?
I do love this movie. It's definitely a hard one to go back and rewatch, but I've heard a few people say that it hasn't aged well. So I don't know. It's been a long time.
Never seen it.
Really?
I know I was born in 1980 and am aging well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to you first. The cooler
Edward
Norton?
Norton.
is
Edward
correct for the
Norton
tie. Doug Benson.
from the movie Sausage
Will you
Party.
accept Ed Norton?
I
Only
will
because
accept
you're
Ed Norton.
famous.
That is correct.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to write Ed Norton.
3 to 3,
I think it
Andrew.
does
They
count.
are off and running here. They've only missed one question.
Yeah, it's a great start here for both of these guys. Your fifth question comes in the category of rom-coms. Rom-coms. Who stars as a television morning show producer named Becky, opposite Harrison Ford and Diane Keaton, in the 2010 film Morning Glory?
All right, Andrew. I'm going to give you
I completely forgot
one
to give
morning show
myself
to keep
scores
that you
on
have to
this.
watch every day for the rest of your life. What are you taking?
Oh my God, are there morning shows?
You could have said Sports Center,
Sport,
man.
I'm gonna go sport.
3, 2, 1. Go outside,
repeat
do
the
a lap,
question?
and come on back in. Did you say repeat right before?
Yeah.
Okay, I will honor that. It was right at the buzzer. I will honor
was
it.
I didn't hear a
Close.
5 or a
Damn.
4. I just heard a
Damn.
3 and a 2 and a 1.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's calling for a challenge. All right.
Do you want to bring your manager in, or can we?
No. I'll let him have this one.
Okay. All right. Andrew,
There was no
you may
full
repeat the
countdown here.
All right. We'll give you a full
I heard-
countdown this time around.
I heard it.
In the category of rom-coms, who stars as a television morning show producer named Becky, opposite Harrison Ford and Diane Keaton in the 2010 film Morning Glory?
And Andrew, this is what I love about newcomers to the Schmoedown. It starts out, it's all fun and games. Question by question, it gets a little more competitive. 5, 4,
Oh, there.
3. You see where we're going with this, Chris? Too.
Okay.
Pens down. Let's go to High Time first.
I think it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
That is incorrect. For a lead of 1, does Van Vliet have it?
It's my fellow Canadian, Rachel McAdams.
It is for a big point. It is 4-3. The good news for Benson here, Guy, is that the next category is something he's probably familiar with because it is the world of comedies. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, no
and it is for a point. Who plays General Izzy, ruler of the rival kingdom of Nextdoria, in the 2021 comedy sequel Coming to America? As in the sequel to Coming to America.
Nextdoria.
I love that name, and I really enjoyed the movie.
The
Really?
inspiration
I
for
haven't seen it. I love the
Mufasa!
4,
Can I get a
I
repeat?
love that movie!
2. You certainly
so
can. That's your
much.
second repeat. You have 1 remaining. Categories comedies. The question: who plays General Izzy, ruler of the rival kingdom of Nextdoria, in the 2021 comedy sequel Coming to America?
Oh,
Crazy, Mark. I think it
say,
was actually maybe just
can you
maybe a month
see
ago was like the first time I watched this movie
I'm
as an
coming to
adult. To actually be able to
America.
appreciate it.
The original Coming to America.
Yeah, the original.
4, 3. That one holds up.
Of course.
1. Pens down. Let's go to you first. The cooler.
I don't know if I got
The
this, but I'm going to
inspiration for Mufasa! Wesley
You did
Snipes!
get it for a point. Does Benson?
That's so funny. I just assigned that name to a woman for no good reason. And, so I just said, is it Angela Bassett?
It is not Angela
quite.
Bassett, unfortunately. So here's where we stand: 5-3. Van Vliet with a 2-point advantage. 2 questions remaining in round number 1.
2 questions remaining. No opportunity for a perfect round, but 2 more points up to grab here,
I
guys.
originally wrote down Eddie Murphy, so thank you so much for the repeat the question.
Sometimes you got to help your opponent out. Your 7th question coming in the category of family films. What 2015 film follows a young Peruvian bear who travels to London in search of a home, then meets the kindly Brown family?
Who was your snuggly little inanimate object friend when you were a little kid? What kind of animal?
I had a bear, and I named it after my nephew, which I think is kind of weird. It was a bear named
4,
Kyle.
3. A lot of info there for Guy. Let's go to Doug Benson. Did he have this one?
Paddington!
I'm pretty sure I did. If it's Paddington.
He enjoys marmalade. Chris Van Vliet, how about you?
I too had Paddington.
It is
Paddington.
6-4. Chris Van Vliet
Very
over
bright.
Doug Benson.
Wow. Okay, there we go.
In round 1. Gentlemen, we have arrived at your final question in this
Oh, I'm
round,
actually
and it's in
tied
the
with Doug
category
at this
of
point.
directors, rich people who do this. Your question: what famous filmmaker directed the films New York, New York, After Hours, and Bringing Out the Dead?
I believe Van Vliet is playing from the sun at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the cooler with a hot.
Yeah, it's very.
4, 3, 2.
He's going to burst into flames.
He might be from Planet Krypton. Let's find out if he's back.
I
and
have no idea
Chris
how
Van
to
Vliet, did you have it?
spell this guy's name. But is it
No, I did not have it.
Martin Scorsese?
He did not have it.
I,
So he's gonna
I
say it.
needed that repeat the question, and I was too late on it. I'm so sorry.
Too late for it, but you still
no.
have 2 repeats left. Doug Benson has 1. Didn't need it for this question. Did you get the answer, Doug?
Of course, it's Marty Scorsese.
It is Scorsese
actually,
for a
we're
point. So
lot
after
closer
a
than I
up
thought
and
I
down,
would.
zigging and zagging, twisting
Well, I
and
thought I
turning,
did,
hot
sorry.
white balanced round number 1, it is 6-5 in the category of the cooler with a 1-point lead here, Andrew. But Doug Benson and Chris Van Vliet finished their first round ever in the movie trivia Schmoedown, and they adjudicated themselves pretty well.
They did exactly what they needed to do. They sat back, they had fun, they didn't get missed questions get to their head. They just reset, reload, and came back, and I'm excited to see what they do at round 2. I love seeing rookies use their JTEs too, Mark. I really think it's important. A lot of times they're too scared to use them. Both these guys got them out early on.
Spend away, and now we progress to round number 2, the wheel round. It is the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. We don't quite have enough money to send you gentlemen a wheel, so it's going to be virtual. You'll spin it with your mind. Once you settle on a category, 4 questions emerge from that realm. Each question's worth 2 points. There's
so
no
I'm
penalty
at
for
5
missing a
now.
question, but stealing is available. So if you're not sure of the answer, you can ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which the writers assure us is a correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. You may still use your remaining JTE rules and or your challenges should you need. So right now, we are going to drop Doug Benson first. And actually, well, let's ask a question to Chris Van Vliet. Chris, do you want to spin that wheel first, or do you want to defer to your opponent?
You know, since I have the lead now, I want to put the heat on Doug, like that heat of my camera was just on me there. And I want Doug to go first.
Doug!
He was late on the. He was after the buzzer that time, right?
It was, you know what? It was very close. It was like the ball was in the air, leaving the fingertips as the buzzer was going. And, you know, I think he just wanted to be friendly. So it's okay, though.
I just need something to cling to if today doesn't work out for me.
I understand. I back that up completely. I love what's going on, man. It's only a 1-point game right now, and that's terrific. That's exactly where we want to be, because now we get into round 2. It gets very serious. So just remember, man, you can go to multiple choice. If you need a little help getting to the answer, it takes the value point a point down to 1, but that's okay. Now you have 1 full repeat left. But just to make sure that you know, when they give you your multiple choice answers, you can get 1 free repeat of just the 4 answers at some point if you need it. So feel free to use that if you need. But otherwise, man, just let's spin the wheel, see where it lands, and we'll do our best.
That's some good advice.
I love it.
There it is in all its
Sometimes
glory.
you
And
can
Doug, whenever
forget
you're
that.
ready, think really hard. Oh, there it goes. He already did it. Wow.
I'm
I
always
like-
thinking.
I like Sam's managing there in that. I think it's really good stuff, especially because we're talking to rookies right now.
They work well together.
The wheel sounds a lot
All right,
faster
round and
than
round it goes. Is
actually
it going
spinning.
to be
Keep
sports
going.
movies?
Keep going.
Okay, Doug. You landed on sports movies. However, you do have a mulligan if you want to spin away from sports movies. Just keep in mind, whatever you do spin next, you have to keep.
Yeah. So, Doug, I get the feeling you want to spin again.
I kind of do, but I also kind of don't.
Okay. Are you? There's other stuff you definitely don't want to land on. I mean, I feel like you know a lot of sports movies.
Yeah, I don't think there's a category I definitely don't want to land in. There's just some that are a little scarier than others. So, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take sports because I think I've seen most sports movies, so I think I'm going to be in good shape.
I think you're going to be in terrific shape. You and I talk about sports every time we see each other, so you got this.
All right, Chris Van Vliet is back. He'll get to talk to his manager when it is his turn to field questions. But Chris, stay alert. You may have a steal opportunity. Not that Doug Benson would miss a sports question. So Andrew Guy will be administering Doug's 4 questions. Doug, we only ask that we can sort of see your hands a little bit during round number 2. Thank you, sir. Andrew Guy, you will be asking sports movies to Doug Benson. He could have spun away, but he said, no, I'm pretty sure I've seen most sports movies, so let's give it a shot.
Yeah, again,
Sounded
I
pretty
think great.
confident
He's playing the
saying it,
game
too.
really, really well so far. You're getting 4 questions in the category of sports, Doug. And your first question, who plays the fearsome boxer Clubber Lang in the Rocky franchise?
Mr. T. I knew that! I actually knew that!
That is Mr. T.
That is correct. Getting his first points in round 2, and he's going to get 2 of them. which takes us to 7-6. In the lead now, and
got
his
you right,
second
fool.
question coming in the category of sport.
And keep in mind, too, Doug and Chris, you can ask for multiple choice if the question was originally asked to you.
Which baseball film features such actors as Robert Duvall, Wilfred Brimley, and Michael Madsen in its cast?
Yikes. I mean, if you're making a baseball movie, you put Brimley in it. I'm going to say The Natural.
And I'm going to say you got 2 more points. High time, Doug Benson. Perfect so far in round 2. Not sure if you wanted to stick with sports, but so far it's paying off very well. Doug, your second to last question in the category of sports. What basketball legend portrays a ball player named Neon in the 1994 film Blue Chips?
Yikes. Gotta say Shaq.
I don't know if he's saying yikes because he likes him or yikes because he doesn't, but give him 2 more points. He's perfect so far in round number 2. Benson up by 5, 11-6.
That is impressive.
It's like I shouldn't know this, but here's my, sometimes you just
I feel like these are just wild guesses, and they're paying off.
All right, let's see if he's got a little bit more of that magic. Doug, you got 1 more question in the category of sports.
Okay.
What kind of animal is Bill Murray's Carl Spackler going to war with in 1980's Caddyshack?
That's so funny. If you just said what characters does Bill Murray play, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you Carl Spackler. And it's a gopher.
8 points, a perfect round 2 for high time. Doug Benson, the usual suspect, in the lead, Ellis.
I didn't want to change my answer.
Wow, and now he's singing the classic Kenny Loggins tune from Caddyshack. Doug Benson high on life and on movie trivia at the moment. 8 of 8 possible points. That's a perfect round number 2. It is 13-6, and
he
so
didn't even want that category.
He didn't even want it. He didn't even want it. He thought about spinning away. He kept sports. Here's where we are. So we're going to let Doug Benson cool off a little bit while we bring in the Coolers manager, Kaiser.
First off, I didn't know that the Inglorious one was using the classified section from High Times magazine to recruit new players, but we all have different approaches to the game, right? The cooler, Chris Van Vliet, a lot cooler than Vanilla Ice in that stupid Ninja Turtle movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shots fired!
Buddy, you've got 15 seconds. Use the clock. You've got two repeats left. You know you can have them repeat the options in multiple choice, so be conscious of that. Take your time. Think through the questions. You're playing great, baby. Let's spin that wheel and see what we can do here.
Let's spin that wheel. See what we get.
All right. Chris Van Vliet's very first.
All right. Great song. Kenny Loggins.
Both managers taking a very similar approach there in their pre-round 2 talk, Ellis.
Oh, he gets past opponent's choice, and he lands with the 1980s. Okay, Chris. Movies from the 1980s. Do you want to keep this, or do you want to use your mulligan and spin one more time?
I mean, I think Kaiser, that's we're gonna spin again. We're gonna get a better category here. So
the 80s. 80s were overrated.
Yeah.
I was always a Carter guy.
Weren't you literally just singing and dancing to a song recorded in the 1980s, Kaiser?
That's not important.
That's
I may
beside
have
the
told a
point.
fib there, Ellis.
You?
I think I have receipts on my text chain with you that you do enjoy the 80s. So
Dwayne
it looks
the
like Chris Van Vliet. Oh, so close to Dwayne
I was
Johnson.
smelling what The Rock was cooking there.
Avoiding
Well,
opponent's
apparently The
choice
Rock is
in the
cooking up
process.
Reese Witherspoon movies. 4 questions in the world
Better
of
than
Reese
the
Witherspoon.
80s. Better than the 80s.
Okay.
Really wanted The Rock. I wanted to talk about all his great films like The Tooth Fairy and Faster and Race to Witch Mountain and The Game Plan.
We need
Don't forget
we
the
need somebody
Journey
to
to
make
the
a gif of
Mysterious
just
Island.
Chris's face as it's slowly past the Rock wedge.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, but unfortunately the wheel giveth, the wheel taketh away, and the wheel today offereth you Reese this Witherspooneth. Here we go.
Nice.
4 questions In the world of Reese Witherspoon, you currently trail by 7. Here's your first one for 2 points unless you ask for multiple choice. Reese Witherspoon won an Oscar for what 2005 biopic?
Walk the line.
Van Vliet is on the board in round 2, and he's got a 2-pointer to show for it. It is now 13-8. High Time still in the lead. Your next question. Cooler, who plays Jake, the estranged husband of Reese Witherspoon's character in the romantic comedy Sweet Home Alabama?
Sweet Home Alabama.
Let's go to multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options for a point. Is it A, Patrick Dempsey, B, Matthew McConaughey, C, Josh Lucas, or D, Luke Wilson?
Let's go Josh Lucas, because why not?
Gonna go with Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey is incorrect. And so now, Doug, you have the opportunity to steal. I'm going to re-ask the question to you, and I'm going to give you your multiple choice options again. So the question, who plays Jake, the estranged husband of Reese Witherspoon's character in the romantic comedy Sweet Home Alabama? Is it A, Patrick Dempsey, B, Matthew McConaughey, C, Josh Lucas, or D, Luke Wilson?
It is C, the voice of Home Depot, Josh Lucas.
Wow, really?
I knew he was the voice of Home Depot. Thanks for confirming that. That is correct. 14-8.
no
Doug
idea how I was
Benson
able to
leads
do that.
Chris Van Vliet by 6. Van Vliet can cut it down to 4 with his penultimate question in the world of Reese Witherspoon. Chris? Elle Woods enrolls at what famous university in the film Legally Blonde?
It is Harvard University.
Harvard is correct for 2 points, and that's a big get, Andrew Guy, because now that cuts the lead to 4, and he can possibly get the lead all the way down to 2 going into round 3 if he gets his final Reese Witherspoon question correct. She's a big fan of the show. Hi, Reese. We know
Hey,
you.
Reese.
Good to see you again.
You've been in some awful movies.
He means it.
I don't think Chris is happy with your category, Reese, but I'm sure he appreciates you. Your final question, Chris. Which actor plays Brad, the male lead in the comedy Four Christmases?
Let's go to multiple choice on this.
Multiple choice. Your 4 options for a point. Is it A, Owen Wilson, B, Will Ferrell, C, Vince Vaughn, or D, Paul Rudd?
Let's go Paul Rudd.
Excuse me. It's my stomach.
Again. Just again.
That is
It's
Owen
my
Wilson.
stomach.
Owen Wilson is incorrect. And so now for another
Incorrection.
steal, Doug, a repeat of the question and the options. Which actor plays Brad, the male lead in the comedy Four Christmases? Is it A, Owen Wilson, B, Will Ferrell, C, Vince Vaughn, or D, Paul Rudd?
Let's get freaky. It's C, Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn is correct for a point. And just like that, Andrew,
Wow.
Doug Benson, an impressive round 2 all the way around. He goes perfect. He gets a couple steals off the cooler. We're suddenly looking at a 15-10 ball game. However, round 3, there is a possibility of 10 points per competitor. So Van Vliet has plenty of opportunity to catch up.
Yeah, a ton of ground to make up, as you just said, Mark. But what an impressive round 2 from Benson. That's what we're talking about at the top of the show. Round 2 is when everything starts to get way more intense, starts to boil down. And now we see a 5-point differential between our 2 competitors as we hear the round 3 rules.
The rules of round number 3, gentlemen, are as follows. We need a series of numbers from each of you. Each of you is going to give us 3 numbers. These numbers may range from 1 to 20. You may not pick the same numbers as your opponent because each one corresponds to a unique category of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, mystery. Your first question is going to be worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3
7,
points.
just in case
Your
you
final
remember.
question is worth 5 big points. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 3. And because Doug High Time Benson has a 5-point lead, Doug has the right to give us his 3 lucky numbers first. So Doug, from 1 to 20, what feels fortunate?
Let's go 2, 7. Oh, thank heaven. 11.
7-Eleven.
Approve of
Getting
that
a
store.
comeback.
Big fan of the taquitos, which I believe I encouraged you to try. Chris Van Vliet.
You know,
Do
I think I didn't have as much luck there because I wasn't shining up one of my other awards in that round. So
Okay. You
I'm
got
going
the
to
Emmy.
shine up my communicator award here. You know what? I'll also shine up my Telly award while we're at it.
That one looks like the most prestigious, to be honest.
It's very, isn't it?
Is it
I'm going to go with numbers 1,
2
10,
and 3.
and lucky number 13.
Chris, I don't want to scare you, but it looks like there's a mad professor just to your right that looks like he might be eyeing to steal your awards.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
I saw that Marvel movie. Doug, you're crushing it,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah, that
I am
Marvel-
not surprised
Mr.
in the
Doctor.
least bit. You had a perfect round 2, and
It's
he
strange.
did not.
Clearly.
And that's terrific news for us. And now that Chris is going to have to answer a lot of questions before it kicks back to you. So there's a very good chance, my friend, you can walk away a winner here without having to answer a single other question. But let's not get cocky. So I want to remind you, you still have your 1 JTE rule left. You have 1 repeat left. There is no multiple choice in this round. So, make your best guess. And otherwise, you're doing great, man. I don't want to ruin your flow. So you feeling good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. I'm not going to take up any more time. Let's do this thing.
Still got
All
the
right, baby.
eyebrow here.
It's the third round. This is a brand new game. You have 2 JTEs. No multiple choice. You got to take your time. You got 15 seconds. It's awful nice when you got 30. So use the time on the clock. All right. Slow it down. This is where we get them. There's no round 1 and round 2. There's only round 3. You get all these right, and we're home free. All right.
2015. I'm calling it right now.
All right, get in the zone. Just start thinking about movies. Run the trailers in your head, everything we went over, okay? Real quick, also, Ellis, shout out to Doug Benson. I loved him in that documentary, Trailer Park Boys. Best of luck with the community service, pal.
All right. Doug, you got a compliment from your opposition's manager.
I know. I can't believe Sam forgot to compliment Chris on his way out.
I think Chris has enough complimentary hardware behind him. He doesn't need.
Should I grab another award here? I don't know.
You know what? I think actually, Chris, maybe I'll just ask you your first question. You can shine an award during it if you'd like. But that's on you, man. You selected number 1, which coincides with the category of crime. Crime is your category.
The secret ingredient is
For 2
crime.
points in round 3, the category of crime.
Category of crime it is, and reminder to Chris, you still have your 2 JTE rules remaining.
What Academy Award-winning actor plays Richard Wershey Sr. in White Boy Rick?
I ain't gonna get that. I didn't get it.
I do not know, so I'm going to say Leonardo DiCaprio. He won an Oscar.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
So- Chris, we're going to stick with you. Your second number was number 10, which coincides with the category of 80s films. So we'll see if this is going to maybe treat you a little bit better than you
category.
thought on the wheel. In the category of 1980s, the cooler, your 3-point question. What 1988 family film follows the character Josh Baskin, who makes a wish that comes true?
Big. I'm pretty sure it was 1998.
That is the movie
88.
Big.
That is correct.
Yes!
For 3 points, 13 to
My own
15
birthday
marks. We are
buddy.
in a very, very interesting situation. Doug has not
Hanks.
yet
For
had
those
to
of you who
answer
don't know,
a
I
question
share a
here
birthday
in
with
round
Tom
3.
Hanks,
Chris has to
which I
hit
do believe
one
that under
more
the
to
rules
send
of
it back
humanity
his
makes
way
me officially
with that
better
lead.
than
And Chris, your number,
So,
as you said,
I don't know
lucky
about
number
you, but I
13.
have the same birthday as
That is going
Tom
to coincide
Hanks.
with the way that we started our day
Sorry
today,
to
or
tell
near
you
the way we started our day
this.
today. Family films. Family films is your
Family
category
films.
for our 5-point question.
Family Flames.
The cooler for 5 points and the lead. Joe Johnston made his directorial debut on what 1989 American comedic science fiction film starring Rick Moranis?
Could you repeat the question?
I'd be
You have
more than
one
happy to.
JTE rule remaining.
One JTE remaining. Your 5-point question in the category of family movies. Joe Johnston made his directorial debut on what 1989 American comedic science fiction film starring Rick Moranis?
Is it Honey, I Blew Up the Kid? Not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That is correct for 5
Really?
points and
I thought-
the lead.
I thought
Doug
Honey, I
High
Shrunk the Kids
Benson
would have
now
been
has
too
to play
easy.
in round 3.
So I
Ellis,
went with
this
the
has been
sequel.
phenomenal.
The cooler cools down Benson enough to avoid a
Okay,
TKO,
nice.
and now all of a sudden it's back to Van Vliet with the lead. It feels like the end of round number 1, Andrew. He's got a 3-point advantage. Doug Benson has all of his round 3 questions in front of him.
No TKO
So there's a
today.
number of different paths to victory for Doug, but the bottom line is he's got to answer at least a question correct.
So what?
So, Mr.
So what
Benson,
time was
Doug,
Honey,
high
I Blew
time.
Up the Kid?
here we are. Your 2-point question that can cut the lead to a mere 1. You selected category number 2. And not knowing what it was, I got good news for you, Doug. You're right back in the comfortable world of sports movies. And your question for 2 points.
Yeah. Okay.
Who plays the role of Reggie Reg Dunlop, the coach as well as a player of the Charlestown Chiefs in the film Slapshot?
That would be Will Ferrell.
That is incorrect. We're looking for...
I was thinking the basketball one. You're talking the hockey one.
I was talking the hockey one. That was Paul Newman.
Paul Newman in Slapshot. Yeah, I got cocky
Newman.
and thought of that Jim Farrell basketball movie. What was that called?
The Colin Farrell movie, I believe, was called
Semi-pro. That
Semi-Pro.
was
He plays for the
basketball one.
Tropics. That's correct. All right.
Not Colin.
All right, well, Doug, good news. We're done officially with sports movies, but more pressing for you is that now you have a 3-point question. If you hit it, you're going to tie the lead of the cooler. And you selected lucky number 7. For that category,
Lucky number
we
7.
corresponded with the movies of Steven Spielberg.
Easy.
And your question
Steven Spielberg.
for 3 points and to tie. Steven Spielberg directed the short Kick the Can in what 1983 anthology film?
Twilight Zone, the movie.
He even got the colon in there. That is
Really?
correct for 3 points, and it all
Wow.
comes
Wow.
down to this. Andrew, we could not have scripted it any better. It is a tied ball game between two very game competitors. Rookies though they may be, they have grown up in a hurry. It is 18 to 18. Van Vliet shining his hardware. Doug Benson looking to strip him of one of those trophies with a possible correct answer with his 5-point question. Doug Benson, high time himself. You have a 5-point question. If you hit it, you win your very first Schmoedown match. If you miss it, we go to sudden death overtime. You selected number 11 for your 5-point question. And Mark Rippon's number corresponds to the world of spy movies.
Yeah.
And your question. For 5 points and the win. Which actor plays the role of Merlin in the Kingsman franchise?
Mark Strong. Country roads, take me home.
I'm gonna have to hear that one
To the
again,
place.
please.
All right, that is your final
I
repeat,
belong
final JTE rule. Here's the
West
question.
Virginia.
Which actor plays
Mark
Merlin
Strong.
in the Kingsman
He's
franchise?
Merlin.
Gosh, it's like I just don't know which person. I like those
I mean,
movies.
I
just
did.
don't know
I
which
did
person
not
is
enjoy the
Merlin.
second Kingsman movie,
4,
but
So I'm
that
gonna take a
scene.
guess.
I mean,
2,
and say
that
Mark
scene.
Hamlin. Hamill.
Mark
Well, Mark-
Hamlin
Mark
or
Hamill
Mark
is
Hamill
in the first Kingsman movie.
is not correct. We were looking
He
for Mark
had a
Strong,
mark.
and so now it is tied at 18,
Yes.
and we go to
I
sudden
literally
death.
have
Andrew,
the
this
points
feels
of
a
both
lot
of
like
them.
the Kevin Smith Chris Jericho match.
Okay.
I don't care about anyone but me. This is my first overtime. This is my first match I get to call it overtime. This is exciting stuff for me. It's all about me right now. What an incredible round 3 from both these guys, Ellis.
It has been a phenomenal test of movie trivia and a display of a wide breadth of knowledge from both of these competitors. But gentlemen, now we enter the world of sudden death. You each get to speak to your managers in just a second. First, I'm going to give you the rules. The rules of sudden death, it works like round number 1. You need your writing utensil and your writing surface. We're going to ask you a question. It's worth a point. You simply have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer. Once we ask you by name or nickname to show what you wrote to the camera, at the same time you verbalize your answer into the microphone, that question, if it's correct with your answer, you get a point and you stay in the match. If both competitors miss the question, we move on to the next question. If one competitor correctly answers the question and the other one misses, the correct answer or will be the winner of the match. And with that, we're going to first drop out the cooler Chris Van Vliet and bring back Doug Benson's manager, Sam Levine.
Well, this is exciting.
Sam, I'm going to apologize out of the gate for that Paul Newman thing. I should have just focused harder. That 1 point would have made the difference. But what do you got for me? What's your strategy going into this final thing?
Well, first off, I just need to clarify for the rules because it's been so long since I've had a match go to sudden death. Do we get any repeats? What do we get? We get one repeat.
One
Okay.
JPE rule in all
you
of
go.
sudden death.
So we only get one to use, and here's my advice, man. Use the repeat if you need it. Write down your best attempt at an answer if you got a guess, and we'll see where it lands. But I love the way you played today, dude. I think this has been great. It's an entertaining match. You're doing great, and I think you got this still.
All right. I feel Mark Strong.
You look Mark Strong.
He certainly does.
Look at you. Look at you.
We got this
Just
far,
we got
baby.
this, baby. All right, now look, buckle down. Get zen here. Take your time. Use the clock. If we get the advantage, we win. You get one JTE. Use it. Like we practiced. Always guess. Hone in on the key words. Just listen for the key words in the question and venture your best guess. You got this. You're playing great. And one last thing, Doug, win or lose, you were great on Judge Judy this week. Whatever went down at that pet store with the turtles and the broken toilet clearly wasn't your fault. All right, Chris, let's get it going, baby. I know you got this.
I
Come on.
wasn't
We've
aware
got
that
this.
Judge Judy
We've
is
got
still
this.
going
All right,
on.
come on now. Answer some
I
questions.
thought that show ended
All right,
years
gentlemen,
ago.
congratulations on making it to your very first overtime. Your first question coming your way in the category of
He did say it
Overtime.
this week, didn't he?
who plays.
save.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Who
tricky.
plays FBI agent Carl Hanratty in Catch Me If You Can?
All right, so all comes down to this. Look at these guys. Look at how pro they are. 5, 4, 3. They're showing us their hands and
I
everything.
love it, man. I love it.
1. Pens down. High time. Let's go to you first.
Oh, me? Sorry.
Once again, my
Tom
birthday partner,
And Chris Van
Tom
Vliet.
Hanks,
Also,
making another appearance
Thomas
on
Hanks.
this match.
These guys do not go down
Reminder,
without
did
a fight.
I mention that I
Here
share
is
a
your
birthday with
next
Tom Hanks?
question
And that officially makes me better than
in the
you,
category of overtime.
according to the unwritten rules
And
of
it
humanity.
is. What instrument does John C. Reilly's character play in the comedy Step Brothers? I feel like these two guys could have been in that movie.
I love this question so much because it felt very serious at the beginning of it.
5, 4,
Doug and I could be stepbrothers.
2, 1. But who would play the Chris?
Drums.
Drums?
Here come
That's
the
my
drums.
drum
Here
set.
come the
Does
drums.
Doug Benson have it?
there, baby,
Drums?
baby.
He certainly
Oh,
does,
man.
and they have 2 points in overtime, Andrew.
They sure
So
do.
do
Moving
I,
on
for
to
some
your
reason.
third question. In overtime, rookies 20-20, battling it out 3 deep in OT. Your question, gentlemen. Which wrestler played the character Blaine in the 1987 film Predator?
You know that Nashville has a hockey team called the Predators, and I never thought Nashville and hockey would work. They love that team.
I mean, didn't they do one a few years, like a decade ago almost, now that I'm old?
You read the question,
I'd
please?
like to repeat. Hi, he said it, not me.
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
That was Chris using his repeat. So here we go, Andrew.
So Doug has his repeat remaining still. This is your third question in overtime. Which wrestler played the character Blaine in the 1987 film Predator?
And the writers may be excited because they may have finally stumped these two geniuses.
It's been very tough to do today, man.
I know who it is. I just can't think of the name.
4,
You still have your
3,
repeat.
I know.
2,
I'd
1.
like to repeat the question, please.
Okay, another repeat. All repeats are done now. 15 seconds, Andrew.
Which
was a
wrestler
repeat heavy
played
game.
the character Blaine in the 1987 film Predator?
Well, repeat heavy match. I'm
No
sorry I'm
repeats,
yawning all the
no
time.
challenges.
I'm really
I'm
tired.
just eyeballing it. It looked like Chris
Had a
had
cou-
his
a
answer
tough
ready,
couple
but now
of
he looks like
days
he might be amending
and a
it.
tough
So
couple of nights, as a matter of fact.
3, a lot of twists and turns.
lot of
2,
stuff going on
1, and some just pulling off to the side of the highway. Let's go to Doug Benson.
I have no idea,
Yeah,
so
I
I
can't
just
think of the
said...
guy's name. So
I ain't
just
got
wrote
time to
Governor
bleed.
of Minnesota.
And Chris?
Chris Van Vliet.
Sylvester Turkey.
All right, well, that's another
Syl-
highway exit
Sylvester
that
who?
neither one's getting points for. At least Doug knew that he was the governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jesse Ventura.
I was just like, what am I doing here?
Sylvester
Oh.
Turkey, though.
Well,
I mean,
I
why
did
not?
guess the
I
quote.
was
I
doing
ain't got
James
time to...
Adomian's
You're bleeding.
impression.
I ain't got time to bleed.
80s
Trying to
movies
think of
kill
his
me.
name.
Oh,
Going to
boy.
question
All right.
4, gentlemen.
Governor of Minnesota was a great guess. You were far
it was.
closer
At
than
least
me.
I like to let people know that I have some idea.
I almost wrote down Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I kept thinking Hulk Hogan and dismissing
He
it.
was in every 80s movie.
All right, your next question, gentlemen. What is the name of the ancient, ultra-powerful, and malignant entity that the Ghostbusters battle in the 1984 film? No repeats left, Andrew.
Wow. Benson already has his answer locked in.
Here we go.
I
5,
can't believe this is
4,
finally coming up in the
3.
Schmoedown, this question.
2, 1. We
Does
go
Vliet
to
have
the
an
cooler.
answer?
Slimer?
Doug Benson, your attempt.
I am Zool.
Zool!
That is incorrect.
What?
Looking for Gozer.
Oh my god.
That
The Keymaster.
Damn it, I should have known that!
Yes.
I
You
should have
both
known.
had
I
great
just
villains
had
in
Zool on the
Ghostbusters
mind
when you're
too much.
looking for Gozer.
Mine was a total guess.
That's right, that's
then
right,
I thought I nailed
Gozer,
it.
dang
I thought I
it.
spelled it
Yeah,
right.
Doug
Zool
seemed
was-
very confident.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The look on
He
Doug's
did.
face.
Zool was one of his...
he was so confident that I thought I was wrong when I saw the
There was
answer.
a long
Nice.
pause there.
You might be.
All right. We are still navigating
Zool!
our way through overtime. We're still tied at 20.
Dang it.
Your next question
Gozer.
in overtime. Before appearing as the T-1000 in Terminator 2, Robert Patrick was a henchman by the name of O'Reilly. In what action series?
Sequel.
Sequel. You don't have any
What
repeat.
action sequel. Now we need JTE rules.
Yes, I apologize. Sequel.
5, 4, 3, 2,
I have no idea.
1. Pens down. Let's see if Doug High Time Benson has it.
I said
Aliens?
Mortal Kombat?
What?
And Chris
What?
Van Vliet.
And I said Rambo 2?
looking for Die Hard 2. They're running out of gas, but at the same
never
time,
leaving.
Andrew.
I love it.
Wait,
Hey,
what was the answer?
the answer was Die Hard 2.
Wait, read the question again.
It was before appearing as the
Oh,
T-1000. Yeah, okay.
He said before.
He's got it. He's
Mortal
got it. Let's
Kombat
keep going.
was
That's a good
after
question. I
T2.
didn't know
Yeah.
he was in Die Hard 2.
All right, gentlemen.
Question writers making their money here in overtime.
They really are. Your next question. Who directed the biographical spy thriller Schmoedown? Okay. I don't even know if Doug wrote something down, but he's already got his hands up.
I think he thinks that's what he's supposed to do.
You just write it in the air, right?
Pens down. Let's go to the cooler.
I'm gonna get Spike Lee.
I went with Steven Soderbergh.
because
And
I
Doug
don't know.
Benson.
I don't know why.
Oliver Stone.
And your winner,
Hi, Time Benson. Why did I write
Doug
Spike Lee again?
Benson gets the victory
I was like,
in
who
what can only be
directs
described
all
as
the
somewhat of a
biopics
classic
about
match here, Andrew.
controversial
Look at the
people?
exhilaration, the exasperation, the relief on the faces of these usual suspects.
Wow. Wow. Dude, well done, man. That was epic. That was an epic battle.
Yeah, I like a long overtime because I got
right.
more to be.
All
That
right.
was a very long overtime. 6 questions in total. Gentlemen, you can cool off for 1 sec. They're going to be interviewed by Jen Sturger in just a second. Andrew Guy, you and I have been through a day with that match, but hey, it was entertaining for the fans, and they got to see an overtime classic with 2 new competitors into the Schmoedown that maybe are going to hang around this game for a long time coming.
I loved these 2 rookies' debut. I thought it was incredible. I thought they had such great presence out there. They took and used the parts of the game. We saw challenges come out. It was playing the entire movie trivia Schmoedown. And you saw, they started off a little up and down, but that's the way it is in your first match. Rounds 2, rounds 3, and that incredible overtime. Damn, man, are you kidding me? I cannot wait to see more out of these guys. And I have to say, I'm always a little skeptical when people more famous than me come into this league, Mark. I don't like it. And they really impressed. They took this game and elevated it. Just awesome stuff.
They really did. We're still recovering from the hardware behind the cooler and whatever Doug has been doing during his intermittent breaks. But right now we are going to go to the winner, Doug High Time Benson, and his manager, Sam Levine of the Usual Suspects, with the great and the patient Jen Sturger.
Oh, gentlemen, I feel like it's taken us years to get to this point, but here we are. Doug, how are you feeling? I mean, I can only assume fantastic based on just your general outlook on life. How are you feeling about your performance today in this win?
Oh, it's great to come into something like this with my spirits high, and then to
Just
win.
your spirits, huh?
Yeah, just my spirits.
Yeah, just your spirits.
My spirits like a little recreational material, and then but then to actually win it, that's another kind of high. I feel like I've never experienced runner's high, but it might be like what I have right now for managing to outlast. I thought that was never going to end. Chris was
None of us did.
really
quite
hanging in
frankly.
there. And he was getting hit with category after category that he clearly had stated were not in his wheelhouse, and he still was very competitive.
Let's talk about that performance in round 2. Sam, how impressed were you at how he navigated that?
I mean, it was one of those deals. I'm thrilled he didn't spin away from sports movies. Sometimes it takes the Schmoedown and hitting a category in round 2 to find out, hey, I actually do know a lot about a certain category of movies. And Doug definitely
Happened to
proved
me
that.
once.
So, Doug, I gotta ask you, now that
Never happened
that
again in
joined
that
the
same
Schmoedown
category, but it
universe,
happened to me once.
do you want to do it again?
Yes, I do. I'm hooked. I'm very excited, to do it again. If I'd have not fared so well today, I might not have been, been into it, because I do have a movie podcast, and I do also like to, kind of uphold I'm sort of a poster boy for a certain kind of medicine. So, I like to do well in these situations so that people can't walk away going, well, he was terrible at that just because he's, using performance de-hancing material.
Fair point there.
Because it should make me worse. Let's be honest. But
it makes you really good at watching movies, not necessarily learning about them. It's like, oh, you want to be couch locked? We can solve that. So, Sam, what do we do from here? Who do you want to see him face next? Where do we go?
If he doesn't get a title shot, I cry foul. I don't know how the rules work anymore. Everything, it's all crazy these days, but I want Doug to get a belt tomorrow, and I'm going to call whoever I have to. I'll sleep outside of Christian's house or Grace's house, whose ever house I have to camp out in front of these days.
I appreciate it. I really
good. It'll look really good next to his cannabis trophy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'd like that belt just because my pants won't stand.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's get Doug a belt.
All right, guys, congratulations on a fantastic win today. That was such a fun match to watch, and I just know everyone at home definitely agrees with me.
Agreed. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Jen.
Yes, Andrew, we are definitely hitting Chili's. Sorry, I was texting my friend. That was Doug Benson. Very excited to maybe one day, Andrew, add some more hardware to that shelf of his to rival that of his opponent today, Chris Van Vliet, the cooler. I'm not sure he's going to get a title shot tomorrow, but look, Doug Benson, clearly there's a lot of movies rattling around inside that head.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually like what he said in that post-game interview. I love that he's the poster boy for a certain performance de-hancing material, if you will. And look, maybe he practices like he plays. It worked out today, and this guy knows a lot about movies. I thought that what he said, there's a kind of a gem in what he was talking about, where sometimes when you lose in the MTS, maybe you don't want to come back. He's hooked. He's got the bug, and I'm very curious to hear what Chris has to say, because I loved watching him out there. I feel like he's equally hooked, but those losses definitely hurt, especially those OTs.
Yeah, Chris was a great sport today, and just a warrior going through all of the, technical, just waiting to get everybody in the stream on time, that sort of thing. We juggle a lot of things in the air here that you folks at home never see, but thanks to the cooler and his manager, Kaiser of the Dungeon, who will now have their own chance to be interviewed by Jen Sturter. Jen, back to you.
Chris, 4 words for you. Jesse, the Body, Ventura. Are you kidding me?
Look, I said 80s movies were not my strength. I was literally just going to write down any wrestler. And then I'm like, I take full credit for that, but my hat's off to Doug for an amazing match. Look, he started dominating categories that he said were clearly his weakness. I mean, he was a very formidable competitor, and I look forward to a rematch.
Do you feel like he was a little bit of a ringer? Do you feel like he was playing you?
He has a movie, podcast. This isn't fair.
I have to say, though, for your first time here, I feel like you performed incredibly well. Did you catch the bug? Do you want to do this again?
Yeah, I'm in. I want to do this again. By the way, good to see you again. It's
Great
been a while.
Great to see you too,
nice
man.
to see you.
Definitely. Welcome to my world.
I just hope that I didn't let Kaiser down.
Here's the thing. Chris Van Vliet is a warrior. You can't ask for anything more for a guy who comes out there and plays his first match and comes down from a deficit in round 2. Benson played amazing. This guy is only going to get better. He loves the game. He's training with us, and
you can't get mad about that.
It wasn't our day, but I think he's been bit by the bug. I think he will be back. And look, as far as Sam Levine goes, he's definitely my favorite manager in the league. Mainly because he's not a threat to me in the standings, but also because he gave me Stieglitz's machine gun for my birthday. So, give or take. But, there's a bunch of things I could say here, but I'm overwhelmed. I've played in championship matches and won belts, lost belts, and that game had me going through the ringer. So, yeah.
I'm so happy that we did the prep that we did earlier today, because 2 of the exact questions that Kaiser asked me earlier today were questions that were asked in round 2. And as soon as they got asked, I went, Harvard, walk the line, so easy.
Listen, you may have been drafted by a madman, but sometimes he does know what he's doing. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He is brilliant. Look, they drafted me to the best team for a reason, and I can't wait to show them that I can bring home the W in the next game that I play.
To go to sudden death your first match, though, that had to be absolutely nerve-wracking.
I was terrified going into round 3 because I was down by 5.
Jenny, kept cool. He played like he's been in the league for 10 years.
I knew one Rick Moranis film. And I'm like, if it's not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, this thing's over.
Well, tough loss today, man. It's great seeing you here. We welcome you to the Schmoedown family, and
Jen,
I really hope we'll be seeing. What do you want now?
Jen, one last thing. There's always one last thing.
What do you want now?
Andrew Guy is no longer welcome at the Bel Air Country Club. I sent his agent a bill for the golf cart he wrecked and the BLT. So
I'm so glad we got that out of the way. Anyways.
It's important.
Chris, I really hope we'll be seeing you around here again soon. It was a pleasure watching you guys play today and an absolute blast. And I know this is one of those matches that people are just going to be like, man, that was so fun.
And they're also going to be like, how did he get that one wrong? Like, there's definitely a lot of those moments for me. So sorry, everyone.
You will be back, brother. I mean, look, he's got a love of the game, Jen. I can't wait to see what he does in his next match.
Absolutely. Me neither. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Andrew, you and I can talk about that golf cart incident off camera, I guess. But the more crucial thing right now is to talk to a player like the Cooler. We've all been in that situation. I mean, I still can't listen to the band Nickelback anymore. Not because I don't like a lot of their songs, but just because that Spider-Man 2 question that I missed, it was a 5-pointer. So we all have those in our history, but that's what makes a champion is you got to be in the ashes before you can be the Phoenix rising.
Big Fish is one of my favorite films, Mark. I can't watch it anymore after reasons that I don't like to mention from the movie Trivia Schmoedown. So, Chris, I feel you. I understand how nerve-wracking it must have been going into round 3, being down 5, having that really rough round 2. It's crazy how fast the movie Trivia Schmoedown can turn its back on you, and it always does seem like it happens in round 2. Yes, a lot of times it'll come down to the 5, but round 2 is where things really got switched up for Chris, and I applaud his mental endurance to stay in the game and then go all the way as far as he did in OT. But like I said earlier, man, Benson, high time Doug Benson put on a thriller today, man. I loved what he did in round 2. He wasn't comfortable with sports. He goes perfect. He gets a couple steals. I mean, come on.
Look, 2 impressive rookie performances in a season filled with them and maybe one of the better overtime matches we've ever seen in any season of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. And for both of these competitors, for Doug Benson and for Chris Van Vliet, I highly encourage all of our Schmoedown faithful, all of you loyal fans out there, go check out their other professional endeavors because they are just great at what they do. Chris has awards to prove how great of a broadcaster and host that he is, and he's just got such great insight. And when you look at Doug Benson, he's had me on the show. So what more do you want than that with Doug Loves Movies and all of the films and late night appearances and stand-up specials that he has offered the world. And so for Andrew Guy, who may or may not owe someone a sandwich at a country club, I am merely Mark Ellis, thanking all of you out there for watching us, to our competitors, to the managers, to Jen Sturger, to the question writers, and the hardworking tech team behind us at Skybound, and Christian Harloff himself. Thanks for watching the movie Trivia Schmoedown. We'll see.
Oh, what is with cutting off Mark mid-sentence? It's been happening a lot this season. What is up with that? Anyways, I now see why this match was so long. Because they went like 5 questions deep into round... sudden death. Anyways, thanks to that round, I actually got 11 questions right. Which it probably should be 12, because I should know that it was Gozer, the demon who eventually becomes the giant marshmallow man. And, yeah. I should have known that, but I have mentioned this up top. It is very late right now, and I've had a very tough couple of days, and even tougher nights, which is why I've been yawning for the majority of this reaction. But yeah, I blame myself for missing that question. But you know, it happens. And yeah, great debut match for the both of them. Like I said, I didn't really know much about them going into this match, but I'm definitely intrigued, and I'd like to see more from these guys. It was definitely a funny match, and it was definitely entertaining, I'll say that. So, that's really all I have to say about this match. Now, this video has already gone on long enough. Might as well cut it right here. So, thank you for watching, and see you in the next match, whenever I can manage it. Schmoedown! Hello again, everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, cause I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.